and then try to get an extension. My point is, we know realistically this building would take at least 2 metal detectors and 2 people on duty all the time. That's a minimum of $100,000 just for this building in personnel, not to mention what the metal detectors cost. So unless the city knows where there's ample amounts of money laying around, I don't know how we'd even pay. I don't know how we'd even pay for this. Secondly, I'm a little concerned when people wonder, or they are not, how do I want to put this, trusting of their neighbors who have gone through a complete background check, qualified on a course, and have no criminal record whatsoever to carry a licensed weapon. So I hope that all of you take that into consideration when you vote this evening, because a lot of us out here are watching this very closely, and we will let everyone know how things go. So thank you very much.
Mr. Melton, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your address.
521 East Hawthorne.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Anyone else?
Good evening, Council. I'm Bill Sutton, 301 West Westhoff Place, here in Gardner, Kansas. I'm here as a citizen. I also happen to be your state representative. I'm one of the people responsible for the passing of this bill. However, as a citizen, obviously it's not my duty to tell you, or as a legislator, I suppose, to tell you how to vote on this. You were elected for that purpose. That's your job. Now, I would make a point of clarification, though. Before I start, you're already able to conceal carry in Celebration Park, in any park. So you'll notice from the rampant gun violence that, that hasn't taken place, that that's not going to be an increase of risk in any way, shape, or form. Now, as one of the people who did work to pass this legislation, I do feel like I have the responsibility to explain why it was overwhelmingly passed in the House and the Senate with broad bipartisan support. In a nutshell, posters don't save lives. Never have. In fact, there's actual data, sketchy data, it's somewhat circumstantial, but that shows that they actually increase the risk by creating a victim zone. Like I said, that's a little sketchy. I'm not completely on board with that data yet, but it's certainly not supportive of the other direction. Now, I would like to say, I fully respect anyone's rights to their beliefs, to their convictions, even if they are adamantly Second Amendment opposed, as I suspect we might hear from. If anyone chooses to live and die by their anti-gun philosophies, I respect that. What I cannot buy into, however, is the notion of forcing someone else to live and die by your anti-gun philosophies. Can't buy into that. That's why I support this bill. I signed my name to it. If the city can't be bothered to ensure the safety of the occupants of City Hall, the staff, the employees, any visitors, then I feel it's wrong to prohibit them from protecting themselves. Now, just from observation as I came in here, it seems to me that the impotence of these ridiculous posters is already understood. We have armed guards outside the city council. Why is that? If the posters worked, you wouldn't think that'd be necessary, now would it? Maybe, I just throw this out there, maybe the posters are good enough security for the staff, but not for the council. We need armed guards for that. Like I said, it's not my job to tell you how to vote. I will urge you to lead, however, whatever you decide, however you decide this issue. Kicking the can down the street for a future council to deal with, fund, that's not leadership. If you want to delay implementation of 2052, that's fine. Just go ahead and tell us how you plan on funding the metal detectors and the armed guards. Where are you going to get the funding? Whose taxes are you going to raise? What programs are you going to cut? And while you're at it, tell us how you're going to protect the people in the city hall. You do those things, that's leading. Sign your name to it. If you didn't plan on doing that, well, if you didn't plan on kicking the can down the road, just say the word, and I'll bet you I can come up with some volunteers to get those ridiculous signs off your windows. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Is there anybody else that would like to be heard on new business item number 2?
Hi, my name's Brett Limer, 18524 Spruce Court. We've heard a description of 2052 from our sheriff, so I won't repeat some of the things that I have written down. The new laws we've heard takes effect on July 1st, only 11 weeks after it was enacted. Because of the short time frame for implementation, many major cities and counties from all areas of the state are struggling to find the best way to comply. Most need more time to make an educated decision, and many are asking the state to be exempt for a period of time as defined by the bill. Shawnee County, which includes Topeka, has already approved exemption. Reno County, which includes Hutchinson. Stafford County, which is west of Reno County. Finney County, which includes Holcomb and Garden City in southwest Kansas. Cloud County, which includes Concordia. Even Little Jewell County up in North Kansas, it touches the Nebraska border. Our neighbors in Douglas County, which includes Eudora, Lawrence, and Baldwin City. And our other neighbors in Franklin County, which includes Wellsville and Ottawa. The city of Junction City, which is in Geary County, has also approved exemption. Just to our south, the city of Paola in Miami County has approved exemption. And just to our north, the city of Prairie Village in Johnson County has approved exemption. Excuse me. This week, the city of Wichita, including all of Sedgwick County, is voting to approve exemption. Along with them, city of Manhattan, Riley County, and city of Emporia in Lyon County are both voting to approve exemption. Excuse me. City of Fairway in Johnson County is also voting to approve exemption, as is the entire Miami County, which includes our neighbors in Osawatomie, Lewisburg, and Spring Hill. These areas are not all rural. In fact, most are exactly the opposite. The locations I've mentioned being exempt from the new concealed carry law are the most populous cities and counties in the state of Kansas. They're where the large majority of our citizens live, and thus they contain the large majority of people that we need to keep safe. To conclude, Kansas state law has provided the options to comply with the concealed carry statutes and has also provided time frames for compliance with each option. Voting to give the city of Gardner more time for analysis to further weigh pros and cons will help determine appropriate course of action to best represent the majority of our residents. Thank you for listening. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Brett. Is there anybody else that would like to be heard on new business item number 2? If that's the case, council, does anyone have questions for Chief Moore?
Chief Moore, I need to ask you just a couple of things here, just for clarification's sake. When it comes to the exemption itself, which is a 6-month term that's defined within the statute. If we decide not to apply for exemption, does that preclude us from doing a feasibility study on the installation of metal detectors?
It goes into effect July 1st.
But does that preclude us from doing...
And you can do a feasibility. You can do the feasibility study, but you're already going to be beyond the exemption period. And you're not going to be able to go back to the Attorney General and say, oh, by the way, we want out. That's why that 6-month exemption's there.
So what you're saying is that if we do not pass an exemption,